So if you see this router, it has power port as Type C USB port and reset button, then sync button to sync two routers or sync the configuration on the cloud. Then it has three network ports. The first Ethernet port is the by default WAN port. So if you connect Type C cable on its port, then you can see on the front side green light is coming, which means the device is booting up. Then we have to connect the internet cable on port number 1 of the device, and then connect your system on the port number 2 or 3. So I'm connecting cable on port number 3 to my laptop. So now I will show you the configuration from the web UI. So as we have connected the LAN cables and the internet cable on the WAN port, now I'm going to log in this router. So on the login, you will get a reset password option. So either you can keep the default one by pressing the skip button, or you can modify your password with the new one. So I'm going to skip, and then it will ask you the quick setup, or if you are already familiar with the device, then you can skip this option. So let's start with the quick setup. So now here select your specific country. So I'm setting here United States just for Wi-Fi 6E parameters, as India does not support 160 megahertz on 5G band. So I'm going to set it in country as United States, then setting the time zone. Now click on the next and set your internet connection type, either it's dynamic IP or static IP address or TPOE. And then we have another two options. That means you can connect your router through the VPN profiles as well. So just required username and the password and the server IP. So if you have a static IP from the service provider, just configure the static IP in the router 1 profile. If you have triple PoE option, then just set triple PoE account and the password. And for the VPN profile, you can set username, password, server address, and the IP mode as dynamic or static IP in the VPN profile. Similarly, for PPTP, you can set your username, password, server address, and the IP address type dynamic or static IP. So I'm going to keep it as dynamic IP address. So it will get the IP address from the uplink router, which I have from the service provider. Now it has default Wi-Fi name. So I'm going to change it and setting as VoIP K, and I'm keeping it as 2.4 and 5G, and setting the security mode as WPA2, or you can set it to WPA/PA2, since some of the devices are older and does not support latest WPA2 or WPA3. So, and set your Wi-Fi password. The password minimum it requires is 8 characters. Then click on the next, and you can set the firmware upgrade process as automatic upgrade. So we are not using this option, and you also not enable this option, because if the router is set for automatic upgrade, and in between the router or internet down, then the router will be break down and it will be crashed. So do not enable this option. Now click on the next option, and it will show you the summary of the configuration you have made, the changes in the router. Now click on set. Now it will give you the scan QR code for your Wi-Fi, which you have already configured. Now click on the close. So this one is the dashboard network map, and here on the internet profile you can see the internet IP address received to you from the DSCP, and on the device option you can see the router MAC address, IP address, and the firmware version and the uptime. Similarly, you can see the Wi-Fi details over here, or you can modify the details from here as well. And you can also see the Wi-Fi. You can also see the network port details, like the net 1 port is connected and the net 2 port is disconnected, net 3 is connected. So all three ports are gigabit Ethernet ports, and it supports multi WAN profile, and the maximum WAN supported are 2. Okay, and on the client option you can see the connected clients details, like the MAC address, IP address, and the connection time, received time rate, associated device. And you can set a name for the client, and you can add them to the parenting control. And on the last option, intelligent detection, so you can check the connectivity. So it's showing normal, that means you can detect the connection state between the clients as well. And similarly you can detect the WAN connection as well. So the network is working properly and IPv6 service is not enabled. So we have seen this network map option, and on the traffic statics we can see the connected clients traffic generated on the router, and if they visit any site it will be visible over here. And you can filter the traffic by today, this week, this month. So it is giving you the traffic history over here, and you can set the QS function for your router. So you can set the QS for game first, video first, and web first. And as well you can set the upload and download speed on the WAN profiles. And in the home care option you can set the parenting control, and here you can add users, so they will be added, like you have children's and the router is connected in your home, so you can create a profile for parenting control and add your children's devices like laptop or mobile phone, so they will be secured and they cannot go on a unsecured content. And on the security firewall you can enable this feature to restrict or see the events like some spams. And on the cloud, you can add this device on the GDMS networking or GWN manager on-premise software. So this can be managed either from the cloud profile or the on-premise software. And in the internet setting option, we can set two network port as the WAN, and we can set load balancing profile for the internet WAN. So we have load balancing, and we can set the wait for WAN profiles, and similarly we can set failover option, and we can set any of the interface as preferred interface, and the secondary will be automatically chosen as the alternate interface. Then we can here set the IP address for this router, and we can set the DHCP services on this router. Here I want to say one thing, like in the previous routers we have the option to add multiple VLANs and multiple networks, but in this router currently this router supports only single network series. Maybe in futures Grandstream will support multiple VLAN options, but currently on this firmware it is not supported. Then it supports triple play services, and in the triple play you can use IPTV services, you can use VoIP services, you can use triple play, in the one profile you can have internet profile, IPTV profile, and the VoIP profile. And for that you can set the VLAN for IPTV and voice as well. And on the policy route you can define the particular domain traffic out on which interface. Here you can set the radio settings for your Wi-Fi, and you can set maximum of 160 megahertz in the 5G. For that you need to set the country as United States or any other which supports this 160 megahertz, and enable the dynamic optimization. So it will set the radio power itself and optimize the channels accordingly to the channel's interference. And it support mesh between routers, so you can set two routers. Then we can see here the connected client, and we can see the traffic statics over here. We can see the QoS settings. Then we have the option of port forwarding, and here in the port forwarding you can set external port, internal port, and the client's MAC address, or you can type them manually. Then it supports DDNS services and DMZ services, so you can set demonetization zone for any specific device. And on the security, it supports content filtering as well. So just enable this content security detection, save it, and on the content control, add a rule, give name, and set your specific domain which you want to block. Then after any client try to access that particular domain, that will be blocked from the router. And make sure you should not set default DNS 8.8 or 4.2.2 on your LAN profile DHCP services option. Make sure you always set this 80.1 or the router IP address on the DNS profile or keep it blank, then content security will work. Then it supports VPN profiles like the previous router support, WireGuard, IPsec, OpenVPN, PPTP and L2TP. It also supports IPv6 profile on WAN and LAN as well, and it supports captive portal. So you can create the captive portal page, and on the voucher option you can create vouchers from here, and on the upgrade option you can detect the firmware from here, or you can download the firmware file and then upload directly in the router. Then you can take a backup of your router and import if required, and can do reset from here. And intelligent detection, you if you click on this, it will optimize settings and show you if there is something you need to update. Like I have set a basic Wi-Fi password, so it is giving the red indication you have to modify, and the green, that means it's okay. So network connectivity is showing excellent. On the connection rate it is showing excellent, 1000 Mbps connection, uplink and downlink, and the signal quality is excellent on 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And then on the system setting you can set your country, NTP, your time zone, the language for the router, and LED scheduler, and you can keep the LED on or keep the LED always off, or you can disable within the specified time period. And you can also set a reboot schedule on your router. Then on the lastly we have option to change the admin password. Then we can enable the user option, and on the access control you can modify HTTPS port, you can enable or disable SSH access, and access through WAN you can also enable, but then you have to specify the IP address, from which IP address you want to access this router from the outside.